start often with, I find a piece of fabric in my stash, and the colour immediately speaks to me. And so I'll pick that out. And then things that I've been thinking about, social issues that affect me very much, colours in the environment, and they all seem to come together like a collage. And I'll do a bit of drawing. I always do some drawing and collect, do research really, collect bits from the internet, and then sort of put them together in a visual sort of collage, whether it's next to the drawings, and then bits of fabric will come there as well, and maybe a bit of paint too, and then that's the starting point. I think that I don't try to fully like to establish what I want to say exactly. I like that to evolve over time, because often there are things in the back of my mind that I haven't come to the surface yet, and then the piece evolves as I go along. I think that my early work was a combination. Once I moved away from etching, which I didn't do colour etching, I just did black and white etching, then I started to move into screen printing, and then that colour started to emerge. But I also there was quite a lot of black in my work too. I think it was also my state of mind and where I was at that particular time. So it wasn't. It was later on that I introduced more and more colour. But I see the world in colour. So definitely something I've developed over time. I have a very strong relationship with colour, and I see colour in music. Music's really important to me, and I work always with music in the background. But yes, I do tend to, I have got some favourite colours, and somebody who did an interview with me some time ago said, your colour palette is this. And I felt a little bit stuck when she said that, because I felt, no, I want to explore all colours, and I don't want to have, say that, oh, this is just my colour, because it depending on the seasons of the year, how I'm feeling, colour really expresses something about my psyche, my way of thinking, the things that I encounter, the things that I put into my work. And also I'm surrounded by countryside, and there's colour all around me, gardens, and so I'm very lucky in that way. Nature plays a big part in my influences, the colours that I use as well. A piece that I have recently finished, it's quite a large piece. It's called Windrush, a celebration of colour, and that was very much brought on by, in the last few years, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of discussion about the Windrush descendants in the UK, and as I'm a second generation Windrush descendant, I felt that I needed to say something about my own experiences, my father's experience of coming to the UK. So I created this picture that it's a bit like a poster really, that they might have had in the 1930s, asking people to come to this country to help rebuild after the war. And my father was one of those people who came, was in the RAF, came to the UK, then went back to Jamaica, and then came back to make a new start, because they wanted, the railways, various companies were requesting people to come and work here. And I think that my father and his generation, they contributed so much to the UK, I read a very good book by Amelia Gentleman who talked about, the Windrush scandal, and it really, I think I cried throughout the whole book reading it, because it was just so shocking as to the treatment that people were subjected to. So I have created a few pieces that, like the Windrush piece, that relate to my own heritage, being mixed race, biracial, and this particular piece, I hope, speaks to people and is historically about, that particular time in our history. Seeing my work in a gallery space is always, it's a little bit of a surprise. It's a new sort of experience for me, and it's quite an emotional experience, really. I can't believe, did I really make all that work? And it's seeing it coming together. It's like a journey, and it's quite warming, and a lot of reflection on looking at each piece and seeing where I was at that time when I was making it. And also each piece I've learnt something new, so I can see throughout a sort of thread of development throughout each piece, and that is always very interesting to see where I started and where I ended up. It takes maybe 3 months to produce a piece of work, and so I haven't got such an enormous amount, and if I've sold a piece of work, that's it, it's gone. So and it's hard to, it takes time to replenish, so I'm trying to hold back a few pieces so that I can have them for exhibitions that I won't sell, but it is, but at the same time you've got that dilemma of you've got to sell something in order to move on to have enough money to pay for materials for the next piece. So it's difficult really to hold on to too much.